Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is another top 5 best stories list and I hope you enjoy. Amazo is a super adaptoid robot who can copy the powers of the superheroes he goes up against, making him one of the toughest Justice League rogues to fight. Amazo was created by Dr. Ivo. I will be making a separate top 5 stories episode for him. Today it's all about the amazing Amazo. When it comes to giant monsters who have close to zero personality, my ranking will be very weird compared to the others. Amazo has had some great stories about him or associated with him, and honestly, it was hard to find 5 stories that I would say were good for the Amazo character, but I did find 5. With that said, this is the top 5 best Amazo stories. Number 5, Worse on a Friday. Amazo was in Solomon Grundy's own solo series in Solomon Grundy issue 5. Now, this is a short appearance of Amazo, but him fighting Solomon Grundy, it's so awesome, I put it on this list. Amazo gets totally torn apart and wrecked in the fight, which was so cool to see. I never even knew Amazo and Grundy fought. It may not be iconic, but wow, definitely a great Amazo moment in history. Amazo here can automatically rebuild himself with time, and Solomon Grundy can't die, with him being a zombie. This shows that throughout the battle, and it is amazing. Amazo gives Solomon Grundy a real run for his money. 2 giant monsters in an almost impossible fight to the death. What else could a great Amazo story need? Number 4, Amazo's big breakthrough. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Supermobile. This is a job for Supermobile. Sleep no more. The story was published across 4 issues of Action Comics, issues 480 through 483. While watching in the Justice League satellite, the villain Amazo busts through to reawaken somehow. Amazo manages to escape Superman, and later, when the Justice League is all together in a space satellite, pulls the satellite into another dimension, getting rid of the heroes once and for all. Superman is left and rescues Dr. Ivo, Amazo's creator, to help him shut down the android. This is a surprisingly good Amazo tale. It shows off all of his powers at the time in fun ways and is a mystery of what he will do next, which I never expected from a villain like him. At the end, there is a moment when Amazo flies alongside Superman. I never thought I'd see this happen, and during the whole story, there's a mystery Superman and Amazo to solve. There are semi about Amazo's machine body. We get to learn how Amazo actually works. Amazo is in his classic look and has all the classic Justice League powers, which I wish were showed off more. The one negative thing is that Amazo isn't in the story itself that much. At the end, the whole Justice League comes together and defeats Amazo. Amazo actually kind of gets betrayed by Superman, but of course Superman had to stop his threat. He gets beaten by running out of energy. This was a great read. Amazo wasn't what I thought he'd be like, but it was still a great story for him. Number 3, JLAndroids, The Human League. The story is in 2 issues of Our Man, issues 6 and 7. Amazo's back and has an army of JLAndroids with him. Amazo was thought to be destroyed but has returned and is facing Our Man, who is also a robot like him. Amazo has a new power where he can take the human parts of a person as well and then turn them into something of an android, which he does to the Justice League. Our Man is also a machine, being the most likely person to stop Amazo right now. At the end, Our Man finds out Amazo has the League trapped in a giant jar and has their JLAndroids working for him. This wasn't a long or great story, but the fact that here Amazo has JLAndroids and Our Man is fighting him definitely puts it on the top 5 stories list, robot versus robot, and at the end, the Justice League get released. I think the art is perfect here for an Amazo story. Everyone looks more metallic and shiny on the page, fitting the plot. This being the first Our Man story I have ever read, looking for great Amazo stories, it was worth the time and did justice to Amazo. Number 2, the Amazo Virus. The Amazo Virus storyline was across 4 issues of Justice League New 52, issues 36 through 39. At the start, Superman and Batman are dealing with 3 guys who are in an evacuated area to escape the Amazo Virus, but they get infected and they get superpowers from it. The guy dies and Superman and Batman have to continue heading in to get to Patient Zero. Lex Luthor developed the Amazo Virus and accidentally got released into the world. Everyone but the DC Trinity, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman have been infected, while saving others from the quarantine sites. Superman and Batman find Patient Zero and have to get a sample of blood from it. but while trying to survive the virus everywhere, Batman gets infected himself. Back at the base in the city, Lex Luthor explains to Wonder Woman that he took the original Amazo's parts and created the Amazo Virus to be able to suppress superpowered individuals if they ever turned bad. And Lex Luthor exposed Superman to the Amazo Virus 4 years ago. This is mostly a story about Lex Luthor and Superman, but Amazo basically started this whole story, and his presence is throughout it. I can see this becoming an animated DC movie. It's really huge and such a great event with all of the characters having their time to shine. And if you ask me, Amazo definitely has the ability to be a big threat in the DC animated universe. And at the very end, the original Amazo comes back ready to kill the Justice League. There's so many twists and turns and great plot ideas for a character like Amazo and how he affects the entire DC universe, and that's why it's number 2. He may not be in it physically much, but it is a really great DC story about him. Number 1. Kid Amazo. 3 issues of JLA Classified, issues 37 through 39, had the first appearance of Kid Amazo. At the start, after Amazo runs into this kid during a battle with the Justice League, Amazo returns and grabs the guy. Amazo seems to know everything about him, more than he knows about himself. It turns out there is a Kid Amazo created by Dr. Ivo based off of Amazo himself. Kid Amazo has fake memories implanted into him, and the OG Amazo has come to reveal the truth and team up to defeat the Justice League. When Amazo fights the Justice League next, Kid Amazo will have to choose which side he's on. This is one of the best Amazo stories. It is the best Amazo story because it explores the emotions each of these robots can have and the question of if they even have emotions. Kid Amazo decides to be a hero and help people in an earthquake at the very end. Eventually, he actually becomes a superhero and Amazo now has to stop his own kid. But Amazo can't kill this kid. Even for a killer android, he still has some good in him, especially when dealing with a kid. His kid, which was very surprising to see. I did not expect that at all. Amazo really is usually just a killing machine, and it didn't really explain why he stopped right here, but I was interested to find out. This is one of the greatest things that ever happened with Amazo. Since he's a robot, him gaining emotion for someone like himself is sweet, and having the origin of a superhero in one of his stories never happens again, so this story is extra special for him. Well, those were the top 5 best Amazo stories that I hope you enjoyed. Amazo is definitely a character I'd like to see more about and learn more about, but he doesn't really seem to be written more than just being a giant killer robot. His design is really cool, and personally, I think his best appearance in media was in Young Justice episode 6. Well, with that said, thank you for watching another one of my top 5 best stories videos, and have a great day.